Welcome to Park Center High School for Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Lacrosse. As rivals meet up here tonight, the Champlin Park Rebels paying a visit here to take on Osseo-Park Center. Good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken, and Champlin Park coming in with a 3-1 mark, although maybe haven't had quite as tough of a schedule as OPC has up to this point. They lost for the first time earlier this week against an improved Elk River squad. And meanwhile, for Osseo-Park Center, 2-2 record, but they have played a couple of pretty tough teams already. They lost to Anoka and Blaine. They had a nice comeback win, or a win on Monday over Armstrong. So I think a little more known commodity with OPC. A pretty young team for Champlin Park. They got a lot of new faces in their lineup, but definitely a traditionally strong program too.
Usually defensively very solid. This year, not so much, although they're only giving up, averaging a little bit over 6 goals a game right now on the 4 games they've played. But we talked to their coach, and he thought they're improving, though, and they're still in it.
It's Micah Chamberlain getting the start in goal here, a sophomore for Champlin Park. Been about 6 years since OPC beat the Rebels, and Champlin Park, again, has had a consistently solid program. Didn't make the state tournament last year, lost in the section final to Blaine, but the previous 2 years they had made it into the tournament, and OPC also in a section final a year ago. However, they had to go up against a pretty overpowering White Bear Lake team that went on to win it all.
I believe they were undefeated going into sections last year, too.
Yes, Champlin Park, that's correct,
yeah.
And had a tough 1-goal loss to Blaine there, one of their big rivals. So we are underway here, Champlin Park in the blue and OPC in the white and orange and green, as Noah Fleming carries behind the net here for Osseo-Park Center.
He's had a surprisingly nice 2 years here. He's really come on. His brother played goalie a number of years ago for the team before it actually became affiliated with the MSHSL.
Boone Almquist puts it right out front and tucked away by Noah Fleming. And just like that, OPC is on the board 29 seconds in.
Well, the 2 leading scorers for the OPC team come together, and Boone Almquist with his 11th assist and Noah Fleming with his 8th goal of the year. Just putting a real nice, great pass coming down the guts, and Fleming just gets open and fronts it. He's usually behind the net, and he comes out front and fools the Champlin defense for a really nice opportunity and buries the first ball he gets for a shot.
1-0 lead here. Obviously, as you can tell, a steady rain here tonight and also pretty windy. Dan, how much impact, if any, does that have on this one?
It has a little bit. As the baskets get a little bit wetter, you'll see some slippage, maybe not as good grip on the ball, so we might see some more balls go on the ground.
Controlled here by Boone Almquist, who has had a phenomenal start for the OPC team. He drops it out front again, and this time denied. Chamberlain able to get over there to stop Carter Compton.
Boy, good opportunity, though. I tell you what, the Champlin Park defense is not very active. I tell you, they're letting the back door open here in front of the net, and OPC seeing it and making some really good passes and getting some good opportunities out front.
Actually make that Hauser, I think, on that last shot. Now an opportunity. Here's Almquist, and he hits the goalpost. A rocket there. No chance for Chamberlain, but it just hits the frame of the net.
Boy, you got to get out there on those shooters. Don't let them wind up like that. You just put your goalie at a big disadvantage when you let good shooters come out and really wind it up and put some torque on it. Very
early going here, but it's been all OPC so far. They've done a nice job possessing and creating chances, too. Not just possessing, but getting some good opportunities. That time, errant pass.
Well, this is one of the things that OPC's been real strong on. You got to look at 2 statistics when you look at teams: ground balls and faceoffs won. Faceoffs determine possession of the ball. OPC has not been very good at it. Champlin Park's phenomenal, over 60%. But ground balls is where OPC has really stood out. Boone Almquist alone, just in 3 games, Jay, has got 25 ground balls won, and that allows you to keep possession here. So we'll see which team wins out. But I like the way OPC is playing against Champlin. They're slowing it down, they're possessing it, and they're creating nice openings for themselves.
Shot missed.
Yeah, I sure think so.
There you get a look at Taylor Comstock, the goalie for Osseo-Park Center, and has made some good strides according to their coach Darren Nelson.
Well, he's pretty much right at a 500% save percentage. If he can get that up to about 60% or 600% in comparison, that will get them over the edge because that's where a really good goalie should be. So he's not too far away.
Scooped up there by Trevor Bloom, takes the bump and keeps going. Now the Rebels looking to get to the attack, and there's a low shot taken by Zach Tennis, but there's Comstock for the stop.
Whoa, nice clear. That was really went over halfway over the field and got a nice open pass to the long stick midi there for OPC. Just no problem getting out of their own zone.
Damon Lingeson circling behind, and we'll bring it across to Fleming, who scored the first goal of the night here. Certainly one that Osseo-Park Center wants to win just because they haven't beat this team in a while, and it's a close by rival, and obviously you want to secure a good win against a traditionally strong conference team too.
Well, I think looking at the standings, a flip-flop position there too. I think Champlin Park's just ahead of OPC there, so they can get up in the upper half of the conference here, and of course important for seeding here during the sections, although these two teams are not in the same section.
Osseo-Park Center in Section 8 now. There's Almquist with a nice steal, so won't have to go through White Bear Lake anymore, and they figure Maple Grove and maybe Wayzata will be a couple of their tougher competitors. Nice steal back the other way. Dylan Dressel, one of the captains for the Rebels.
I think as we go throughout the season, we'll watch all the teams in that section really start evening out. I think it could be a real tough section, a close section, parity-wise, to compete in. Where not, you kind of could say Wayzata really was kind of the power out of that section, the past few years. I'm not so sure you could say that this year. And Maple Grove, of course, coming through. I think they upset Wayzata last year to get to state, which is kind of a surprise, but we'll see what happens.
So look at Darren Nelson, a 15th season, and you can see it's not that pleasant of a night down there. Maybe trying their best to stay dry all night long here, but a game that they were definitely looking forward to, a good opportunity to try and get a good win on their home field in Champlin Park. Ben Blazer, first-year head coach, played for the Rebels. Two of his brothers on the staff as well.
I think he's having a little chat about the defense right now, Jay, and talking about their slides. They're really slow getting around, moving off guys and moving on to other guys that are open here. So, but like he said, they're a young team. He's got a number of freshmen. I think he said 4 freshmen playing for him. And so that's going to take some time for that to happen. And as they start playing the better teams, the pace will get better, and they'll start working at a higher and better pace than what they have been playing earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword with the schedule that they had early on. It does help your younger guys to build some confidence, but at the same time, you're maybe not meeting up with quite the level that you're going to be seeing as the season goes. And, you might get a false sense of security a little bit, like, oh, okay, we're doing fine, and you're finding that out. But you have to play who's on your schedule. I mean, any conference is going to have a little mixture of real strong teams and not as strong, and, it's how you battle through all those. Good pressure put on there, but C.J. Tharp got rid of it, however, not able to connect. And Champlin Park will get possession here as they've, been spent most of the time so far having to defend, and now they get a little chance to get into the offensive zone. Zach Save sending it across here to Derek Roberts.
I think the cold more than anything else is affecting the guys. They're really not moving as much as you would think they would. The lad OPC gave up that ball just because nobody was getting open for a pass, and one guy got stuck with it, and of course they doubled him and got the ball away from him.
Well, and you talked about dealing with the wet part. I mean, to be honest, the uniforms get a little bit heavy and soggy, I think, out there tonight too. And, it's something that you don't dwell on, but it's there. And certainly the guys are, the guys who are in the game and staying in the game have an easier time staying warm.
Yeah.
Almquist moving it up the left side here for OPC. Gets a step to the middle, looking to shoot it, and
nice
a nice play by Chamberlain.
Talking about Boone Almquist might be the top scorer in the state right now, statistic-wise. That's a good save because he got a chance to really wind up and torque that from the top there, and they're going to really have to step down on him. I'm surprised they don't have a double team on him, but if your goalie's going to make saves on him, amen.
Jason Comstock getting it ahead there to Lingeson. Lingeson trying to go to the net, puts it out front. Here's Fleming, and that one just misses. It'll be OPC possession, though. They have generated chances. I think the combination of Chamberlain being good, here's his save, and a couple near misses. This one could easily be a lot more than 1-0 right now. Chamberlain's had a couple of really difficult saves. That one probably the toughest.
Well, as I said, their tradition has been good goaltending and good defense. That's why they've had a couple undefeated seasons, at least till they got to the sections, whatever. And it doesn't go away too quickly, but finally Boone Almquist gets open and twerks one from the side and goes to the upper corner for a 2-0 lead.
Almquist putting it away here for Osseo-Park Center. Great shot there to put it away here as he takes the pass, takes a step, able to get around the defender Disrud there.
You see, he beat that player. Now watch here. Nobody steps up. 51 should have slid and got into his face right off the bat. They're just a step slow, and against players like Fleming and Almquist, that'll cost you every single time, and that's why they're getting an opportunity to really wind up and rock it. But that's something a defender, especially young defenders, got to learn when to move and when to not move, not come off the ball. But they'll get that fixed up.
Pass off target for Lingeson. And eventually, though, scooped up. Carter Comstock. Or Carter Compton, excuse me, not Comstock. Tharp possessing here for Osseo-Park Center. Spinning to the middle, and he lost it.
Boy, you can really tell the difference here. OPC's winning these ground ball battles. That'll be a push on OPC. Ball going over to Champlin.
C.J. Tharp guilty there, and now the Rebels look to get something going up their left side. Jonah Miller.
Well, the Rebels need to get something started here, and boy, not have a turnover like that. They've had some success offensively. Number 9, Brody Sturm, has really lit it up for them. Before the other game against Elk River the other night, he had 22 points, 13 goals primarily. So we'll keep our eye on number 9. They haven't had a chance to really get the ball to him, Jay. They haven't had any possession in the OPZ zone. Oh, they reversed the call.
Well, and the other part of, obviously you don't want to be stuck defending a lot, but you also, your offensive attack gets a little stale out there, not being able to really be involved in the game.
Yeah, good long possession here, moving the ball to everybody around the pike would do the Rebels a world of good right now.
Dimitri Berker goes to the net and misfires on that one. Will be Champlin Park possession here as he tried to go low short side but didn't quite get it. It looked like Comstock had the net covered pretty well to that side.
He really did, and Dimitri's, it's really tough going full bore running and trying to get off a good shot. You really have to practice that a lot. And when you see, really good players able to do that, that's just a definite advantage and a really honed skill.
Comstock giving it over to Cordell Russell. Nice job as they work it up the field. Lost momentarily, but regained there by Alec Johnson for Osseo-Park Center.
Boy, very nice clear here by OPC, and oh my gosh. Nice save by Chamberlain. I don't know that was going to go in though.
I think he was trying to pass it across to Lingeson, but either way, alert job by Chamberlain.
Yeah, see, everybody's standing around. You got to move. You got to get open for these guys to move the ball out. OPC's been doing that very well, and that's what happens when you don't do that, and you really don't want Noah Fleming going down on your goalie.
Fleming with a great steal at midfield, took it from Charles Pollard and goes the distance to score. His second of the night. Boy, you don't have him develop any better than that if you're Osseo-Park Center. A clean steal and off to the races.
Good opportunity here. He just had it too long, and Fleming coming right across the top and getting it on the top end of that stick and knocking it out. and a good high-low shot into the net. You know, that Chamberlain's just helpless on that one. You can't blame him for that. And there again, Fleming going full speed. He knew what to do with the ball. He got good enough speed on it to bury it low.
So 3-0 lead here for Osseo-Park Center as they jump on Champlin Park in the first quarter of this one. Last year, a 1-goal game. The Rebels beat Osseo-Park Center 12-11 in the regular season. And then, of course, as we said, in different sections, and each advanced to their respective section final.
Got a little anxious there and got about 5 yards up the field before the ref blew the whistle.
Zach Tennis controlling here for Champlin Park, trying to go across over the weak side there, was looking to set up Brody Sturm, but OPC able to break that up. I believe it was Max Johnson who got a piece of that one.
Boy, I tell you, OPC's clears here, their breakouts per se have been so nice. And they're just making the Rebels pay for it. It's a run and gun thing, but my gosh, what a great clear. Carter Compton here coming up and putting one in the net, a sophomore for them. So the future looks pretty good with the amount of kids that OPC has at a young age.
Carter Compton burying this one here. And so the lead has jumped up now to 4-0. The Rebels, you know, they were kind of fighting them off for a while here, and now OPC's been able to convert on a couple of pretty good chances. They've scored 3 goals in just over 3 minutes. That does have a tendency to catch up with you if you're defending as long as Champlin Park has been.
Yeah, and just the giveaways that they've given in the offensive end too, and then noting how OPC is breaking out or doing their clears so very smoothly, at a run and at a pace, and leaving the Champlin Park defense, frankly, in the dust.
Solid job defensively there, and then Dressel picks it up. Dressel connecting with Johnny Henningsen. Henningsen pushed to the outside here. Drops it off for Dylan Frank.
Now here's a smart move. Now they got it settled down. They got it in the box. They don't have to worry about that now. Settle down and move the ball around, and you know, try to get everybody a touch here. I mean, some of these guys haven't even touched the ball yet, and we've only got 1:54 left in the first quarter.
But another turnover here, it looks like. Yep. So Osseo-Park Center will get it back. Champlin Park able to get a little zone time, but that's about it. Never got a look at the net. Dropped off, but regathered there by Compton.
I wouldn't be surprised in OPC now with 1:28, 27 left to work for the last shot.
Almquist surveying the field. Pass knocked down but recovered. Alec Johnson giving it back to Almquist. Faking and now gets wide to the outside. Switches hands, trying to tuck that one in.
Chamberlain stayed right with it at his basket, right on Almquist's basket too, and just gathered it in as it came out.
Get a hold call there against Champlin Park as they knocked Almquist down. Nice play by Chamberlain, although then he got maybe a little panicky and gave it away, or nearly gave it away on that pass. 40 seconds in this first quarter. It's been all Osseo-Park Center. Fleming has it knocked away. Puts it out front, and the shot sailing wide from C.J. Tharp. OPC will keep possession, though.
Well, OPC moving very well, especially in front when they have the X-Men and Fleming behind. And again, that basket's probably getting a little wet now, and that ball ain't sticking in there like it should. But you watch them move now. They'll find a slot and try to get an opening for him to move the ball into and create a shot.
Weak side to Almquist. Fakes, comes in closer, and not able to quite hit the target. Osseo-Park Center possession with only 2 seconds to go. Have to hurry it up here. Fleming getting it over, and the quarter is going to come to an end. But a very good quarter for the home team here. Our score after one, Osseo-Park Center 4 and Champlin Park nothing. The second quarter coming up on a rainy night here at Park Center.
I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Will, for example. His first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. He's learning production skills and now has access to cutting-edge equipment. He's working on local music productions, meeting new people, and gaining experience needed to produce his own show. Best of all, he's sharing his passion for music with others in his community. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
Welcome back here to Brooklyn Park, which is actually home of Park Center and Champlin Park High Schools. A lot of people don't really know that, but Champlin Park is right on the Brooklyn Park side of the border, too. So a 4-0 lead here for Osseo-Park Center. And, Dan, a lot to like for OPC in that first quarter.
Offensively, really doing well. We kind of knew that, but you know what? The defense has been pretty good. They're not allowing passes over the middle. They're not allowing backdoor situations. And most importantly, they're doing what they're good at. They've been winning the ground ball contests and making Champlin Park pay with that. Champlin Park just needs some possessions, Jay. Take that face off, get it in the offensive zone, move it on, let everybody get a touch of the ball, and take a minute and just let everybody get moving and get used to it, and then start running your offense here. They need a goal right now. That would do more to remedy their situation than anything else would. And they've been actually winning the face-off. They've just been giving them away once they have it.
Yeah, as tough as the first quarter's been, obviously 4 goals, over the course of a full game is not by any means insurmountable, but they've just got to get some things starting to go their way a little bit.
Yeah, they were talking to Coach Nelson, OPC. They had a 4-0 lead on an undefeated Anoka team, and they lost. So that can disappear real quick.
Disrud controlling here for Champlin Park as they try and get their attack moving.
Here we go. Nice. This is exactly what they need to do, Jay. Just move it around, get your offense going, set up your action behind, and then start people moving.
Back out top, Disrud looking to get free for a shot. That one bounces around a little bit and ultimately winds up with Comstock.
And here's where Champlin's got to ride. They got to get on these guys. Stop making these breakouts so doggone easy. These clears easy. And, again, nobody got in front of the long stick there, and he had an easy exit out. Best breakout in the world. Just take it yourself.
Cordell Russell, part of that state championship football team for Osseo. Leading the charge out of there for OPC is now they get set up behind the net. Lingeson will drop it off to Fleming, who had 2 first quarter goals. Tharp around to Almquist. Almquist missing the net on the short side there. They'll keep possession. Lingeson.
Lingeson's a freshman. He's been a vital part of the offense. He's the 3rd leading scorer on the team right now.
Fleming out front to Almquist, and he buries it. Boy, they didn't need a lot of room. You can tell those guys worked pretty well together as he found Almquist, and bang, it was in the net.
Oh, my gosh. Boone Almquist just gets himself in there. He went off to the left-hand side, and then he cut back through to the middle and got open right away. And, of course, Noah Fleming, just precise precision passing over the top of the net, got it to him, and they buried it. Just a pretty play here. I would think you'd almost have to assign a blue jersey to number 21 for the whole night and just live in his jersey.
So make it a 5-0 lead here for Osseo-Park Center as they calmly come down and take advantage of the first chance they get in the second quarter. Now Fleming back to Almquist as they'll look to go on the attack again here. Drops it off to Fleming. Steps around, looking to go low with that one. They battled to try and get it back here. And ultimately Fleming comes up with it, flipping it out front. Almquist handcuffed by that one a little bit. Spins and drops it off. Here's a shot and a goal.
Beauty.
Wow, that was a well disguised by Alec Johnson. He made that turn in such a tight little area that I think he caught Chamberlain off guard. The shot was actually pretty much into the middle of the net. He didn't really go high or low, but Chamberlain didn't get a real good look at it here.
Boom. And then had the opening and just found the inside of the left part of the net. I think he surprised himself with that move. That was just a quick, those feet were just moving really fast, allowing him to do a 180 really quick. That was pretty. I like seeing that. So now we're up to a 6-0 lead.
Boy, it shows you right there. I mean, yes, the shot was great, but footwork is such a key in any sport, and you saw it right there.
Mm-hmm. Using full motion. Now Champlin's having a nice talk. They got to get some things squared away here now. And like I said, they've had some opportunities here, Jay, in the second half or in the second quarter to have some possession in the offensive zone, and they settle for a weak shot from the way side of the net. No, work it from behind or work it to the top, and see if you can get a good shot up front. But you don't have to be in a hurry. Just get the first one. Take the ice pick and knock a little piece of ice off the glacier, and then see if you can start building it. And I've watched a lot of games. I watched a college lacrosse game this week, Notre Dame and North Carolina, and North Carolina was down by 6 goals with 4 minutes left to go in the game, and they won. Came back. So it can happen.
For Champlin Park, I mean, obviously you don't want to fall behind, but I think as a coach you do kind of want to look around and see, who's going to step up and be your leaders on a night like tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to, do the right things to try and get yourself back in the game and at least show that you really want to compete out here tonight too. I mean, let's face it, the weather doesn't help any either. When you fall behind by this margin, you're kind of going, oh boy, when is this one going to get to the halftime? Go dry off a little bit.
Boy, I hope they aren't thinking that, man.
No, but it is human nature, though.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. But that's right. Now you find out who your players are. It's a tough situation, but it's not an unbroachable situation. The other thing I think is key is, too, number 9 for Champlin has not had the ball, and they got to start getting it to him. If anybody can make something happen, he can.
Almquist up the left side here for Osseo-Park Center as they go right back to set up their offense. Fleming pursued by Pollard here.
Boy, he gets kind of cute with that stick. I'll tell you, he's giving a little fake here like he's going to pass, and he holds on to it. He's going to take a shot, and he holds on to it, moves it back and forth, and he's got a quick second step, too. He'll go real slow and then really rip it up on you.
Carter Compton trying to let that one rip, but had his shot denied there. Fleming giving it back as they're patient, setting up from behind the net. Lingeson. Pass getting back to Almquist. Spins through a couple, flips it out front. Couldn't squeeze off a shot there as Tharp has to regroup and bring it out top. But you see, they don't panic. They say, okay, that's fine. You denied us once. We're just going to regroup and go again.
Well, you know, when you win most of the ground ball fights, that really gives you a lot of confidence that, okay, I dropped it, so what? I'll probably get it back. And they've been doing it at a tune of 95% so far in their season, Jay.
Fleming trying to lean into the defender now, goes weak side with it. Here's a quick shot, but missed the net. It will be OPC possession again. Chris Kuras now taking it for Osseo-Park Center here. Flips the pass over toward Fleming. It got away, though. And there's Pollard to step in and take it for Champlin Park. And they'll come back to Chamberlain. Chamberlain gave it right to Almquist at midfield. Now has to hurry back into his net. Almquist faking the pass. Gets to the front. And then had it knocked away. Good recovery by Dylan Dressel there, as that one looked like it was going to be one of those inevitable great chances for OPC.
Well, good fight by the D there. Getting possession, getting it out of Almquist's hands. And every time he's there, he's got to scare you the bejesus out of you, for heaven's sakes, and battle him and got the ball away from him.
But then the Rebels, a little bit of a careless turnover there. We'll give it right back here. And C.J. Tharp bringing it forward here for Osseo-Park Center. They lead 6-0. They led 4-0 after one. Couple goals in the first 2.5 minutes here of the second quarter as well. Compton goes down and quickly gets back up. There's some benefit to being kind of small. You're able to pop right back up right away, and then the shot sails wide.
That's what I like about the sport, Jay. Little guys can play this game too. And then contact's allowed. Physical contact is allowed. Checking is. But you're not seeing a lot of it. A lot of this is skill now. There's some pushing going on, but no real full-blown checks per se. And they keep real good control of that in lacrosse, where if it's a little bit too much of a hit, they'll call you on and put you in for a penalty.
Almquist doubled up here, able to wiggle free, sending it across, but Lingeson wasn't quite where they thought he was going to be, I guess.
They're even doubling Almquist now, and he still got a shot off.
Fleming. Pollard trying to track him. Fleming slides it across. Oh, and Chamberlain
nice
able
save.
to make a stop on Chris Kuras, who was in real close. But Chamberlain able to make a big save there for the Rebels.
You know, despite the 6 goals scored, he's done a good job tonight, Jay. I think a lot of times he's been hung out to dry.
Dressel on the move up the left side here for Champlin Park as they try and get something going. Handing it over now to Tennis.
Where's number 9? Where's number 9? I mean, this is good. They're moving it, but get it to number 9. Let's see if we can create something offensively with him. You got to let your best player shine in situations like this.
Birker on the move. Pops away, and Joey Falls trying to track it down here for Champlin Park, and does. Bloom now looking to attack up the middle. And as he tried to shoot, a stick check there, it sails way up over the top. But Champlin Park will possess it. Brody Sturm is the guy Dan's talking about, their top scorer. Sturm, pretty well defended. And Almquist winds up with it over to Comstock. So they, again, don't really allow a Rebels chance.
The defense has been tough for OPC, and I'm talking about Champlin getting something going, but the OPC defense has had a lot to do with why Champlin can't really get something going, too.
Alec Johnson across, and it skips by Lingeson. He's able to run it down, however. Hasn't been as dominant as the first quarter, maybe, but they've been methodical and doing the right things.
Well, when you got this kind of lead, the one thing you want to do, Jay, you always tell your team, run the clock. We ain't got to be in any hurry to score. We got goals in there right now, so let's just work it a little bit and work some clock.
Champlin Park seems to be getting maybe a little more aggressive, not allowing them to dictate to them as much. But that can burn you too. And there's Almquist bouncing one in, a tough shot. And that'll make it 7-0.
Lefty. Brought it in lefty. Most of his goals have been righty from the right side. This one he came across on his left hand, and watch him switch hands here. He'll come across, make a move, switch his hands, and just torques it off. And that's just a good shooter. I'm sorry, that's just a good shooter. Can really rip it and get it into the net. He went high-low and bounced it off the ground, which is always tough for a goalie to stop. But he's got a hat trick tonight. I didn't know that. Should have figured that. Boy. It's almost to the point where there isn't any spot on the field that Almquist can't score. What do you do?
OPC possession here, Lingeson.
Illegal procedure. Wow.
Fleming battling with Jonah Miller. Lingeson gets everybody into position here, and now trying to press forward there from behind the net and missed the shot.
Good D came back on the stick as he came across and tried to shoot it and restricted the stick from getting a full torque. So good play by the D on Champlin there.
Fleming possessing here for Osseo-Park Center. He had a couple of goals in that first quarter. Taking a little punishment there from Dressel. Fleming spinning to the front, and he got the shot away and in as he was knocked down.
Boy, literally beat on there. My gosh, I'm surprised he didn't go into the crease, but he'd already been knocked down once, and here is three guys coming across, including the goalie, and Fleming still found a way to get it into the net. Wow.
Just as he was hitting the turf, the ball was hitting the turf and bouncing in. So his third goal tonight. 8-0 advantage here for Osseo-Park Center.
I'm going to tell you, Jay, I never expected to see this. I'll be real honest with you. I just did not.
And we talked, a lot about how still a lot of game to go and everything, but you're not really seeing indications that Champlin Park's, on the verge of making a run back into it. I mean, obviously that can change, but it sure hasn't been shaping up that way so far.
The amount of giveaways they've had. I don't think they've probably had that many giveaways in any game they played this year. Oh, my gosh.
Pass out front, another opportunity. And Fleming just misses the net as they had another turnover that led to that great chance for OPC.
Wow. The other part of this game, too, knowing that, a big goal lead can turn into a small lead real quick. If you stay relentless, even though you got an 8-goal lead, you still keep pounding away as hard as you possibly can.
And especially against a rival that has routinely beat you over the last several years, too. I don't think there's going to be exactly any let-up from OPC, no matter, what the score gets to be until maybe very late in the game.
Oh, my. Failure to advance. Oh, my gosh. You have a certain amount of time to get the ball across the half line and then 10 seconds to get it into the box inside, and they didn't even come close to getting it over the half line. Wow.
Flip back to Almquist here. A minute and a half to go in the first half. Osseo-Park Center and the white and orange and green have dominated Champlin Park. On top, 8-0. Almquist looking for some room and fires and scores. Almquist burying another one here for OPC.
One defender. Second defender's got to come across on that. Now, you know he's got that left-handed shot. Two guys have got to be on Boone Almquist, and he gets in that tight. even if he finds the open guy, you know he's going to kill you. You got to step up and double defend him and just bring somebody off and slide a guy into him to stop him from taking that shot. He isn't going to stop until you stop him.
And it's Lingeson out of there with it off the faceoff for Osseo-Park Center.
And that was one of the rare wins, face-off wins for OPC. Champlin's been winning most of them. They've just been having the giveaways once they get the ball.
Lingeson will drop it back off. Almquist getting a breather here after scoring that goal. Tharp. And it will be OPC possession here. Under 40 seconds to go now in this first half. And Osseo-Park Center, certainly a dominant half, and a half they want to savor, but at the same time come back and keep playing hard in the second half. Champlin Park, meanwhile, waiting to get to halftime to regroup a little bit. They've obviously got some things to work on here in half number 2.
Yeah, at this point now, with the amount of time left, just get it across the line and just move it forward here. At least give yourself an opportunity for a last shot.
Derek Roberts possessing here for Champlin Park. Giving it to Tennis.
You got to get it across the 30-yard line here inside the box. There they go. Well, I guess they didn't.
And time winding down, and we are at zeros on the clock. So we get to halftime here, and Osseo-Park Center is in command, leading it by a score of 9-0, and a little late tap there from Tennis, and they're talking back and forth a little bit here, but cooler heads prevail here. So we are at halftime here on this rainy night at Park Center. Osseo-Park Center 9, Champlin Park nothing. We'll be back with our second half here of lacrosse on 12 Sports.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Not the greatest weather in the world, but great first half for Osseo-Park Center in this boys lacrosse game here on 12 Sports. They are dominating Champlin Park, leading it 9-0 as we get a look at first half highlights in this one. And OPC didn't waste a lot of time getting started. Boone Almquist right out front. Fleming tucks it in 29 seconds in, and that really kind of set the tone for that first quarter and really the whole first half. Boone Almquist on the move here, and he fires as the water splashes out of the net here on this rainy night. And a great steal by Fleming there as he picks Pollard's pocket and goes in alone. No chance for Chamberlain, the goalie there, and Fleming puts it away. Then a great pass out front, Fleming to Almquist, and he tucks that one home. Early second quarter, and they keep on moving here. Great spin move. Alec Johnson turns and buries it for Osseo-Park Center right there. And then Fleming, as he's going down, bouncing one off the turf and in. So Fleming, 3 goals in that first half, 4 for Almquist, and it is all Osseo-Park Center. We'll see if Champlin Park can get regrouped and maybe make a game of this a little bit in the second half, but for now, Osseo-Park Center in command. We'll be back with our second half of action here. You're watching Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Lacrosse on 12 Sports.
Hey, did you buy something from some gaming site?
What do you mean?
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of different charges on here.
Do you think someone stole our credit card information?
I don't know. That site sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, isn't that the site that Billy's on all the time?
You don't think. Billy!
Stop and think before you connect. Playing online is serious business. Visit dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect. for tips on how to be safe online.
Welcome back here to Park Center as we get set for half number 2, and Osseo-Park Center man up to begin the half. So the little slight skirmish at the end of the half was spotted by the officials, and tennis was whistled there, flagged. And a new goalkeeper for Champlin Park is Adam Dumphy. The senior will be in goal now for the Rebels.
And did a nice job getting out of the net after that shot to get possession for Champlin. They can run down this man down situation, but threw it to the wrong guy.
Yep, gave it away. Almquist takes it on one hop here for Osseo-Park Center. That shot attempt denied as C.J. Tharp taking it for OPC.
And Charles Pollard made a nice play there blocking that. And he's done a pretty good job defensively. He's gotten his stick in the way a number of times for the Rebels tonight so far.
Fleming fires. That one bouncing off Dumphy, I believe, and Fleming will run it down here. Champlin Park's been a little cautious. I mean, they've been beaten to most loose balls. Nice stop there by Dumphy. And sent up the sideline there, and ultimately they wind up with it again, though. Dylan Bennick. Bennick gaining control here, shooting, and Comstock had to make a tough save on that one. Champlin Park.
Good shot, good coming out of the double team and causing some problems. This is what I want to see too. Fight back here now. Great job, a good ride by the Rebels here to prevent the breakout, and just a good opportunity there. Number 14, Dylan Bennick, just made a nice opportunity here. Got a good shot off and really tested Comstock, but I don't think it's been tested very much at all tonight. The OPC goalie.
Yeah, to his credit, he was ready though and made a nice stop. Here's Bierker on the move here for Champlin Park. This is just something they didn't have much of in the first half, was possessions and shot attempts.
Oh.
And Dylan Frank, the pass gets away, so we'll have Osseo-Park Center getting it back here.
You just can't give away balls like that. It's just you're giving them, the LPTC team, too much possession time at the rate they can score on you. Boy, you gotta really work on that. Boy, nice play right there.
Way across to Russell, and he will move it up the right side here for Osseo-Park Center.
Oh, you couldn't have diagrammed that play any better. My gosh, come across field, he just took it all the way up, got it inside the box in the Champlin Park zone, and gave it up to one of his midfielders and got back on defense. What a nice play.
Almquist flipping it over. Here's the turnaround shot and a goal. Alec Johnson getting his second of the night here for OPC, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Again, that footwork. Watch the footwork here. It'll be a nice layoff pass by Almquist here, and just bang, comes across, gets himself set, and lets it go. Just takes a half-second to stop, and he just rips one.
So they go up by a 10-0 count here on the Rebels.
I think the amazing thing on a lacrosse situation like this is the zero. You just don't see many shutouts at all in lacrosse.
Langus out of there with it off the face-off here for Osseo-Park Center.
As we say, OPC's been having trouble with face-offs all year, and Linguson, boy, he's come in and won a couple of them here. I think he's 2 out of 3.
Fleming dropping the pass back, and there's another goal for OPC. C.J. Tharp converting right there on a nice feed from Fleming.
And Fleming's got good eyes. He doesn't just look for himself all the time, and he's been noting guys coming down the slot. He's fed 3 of them so far. Done a nice job and a great play by Tharp. They're not even really that hard a shot, Jay. Just a good, shoot high-low type bounce shot, which is really tough for goalies to get on.
Well, I was going to comment late in the first half, too, that Tharp did what I like there. They're making decisive runs and finding seams.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll see, and it's not just lacrosse, but you're thinking of, soccer or hockey or basketball where people are kind of looking busy, running around, but not really cutting with a purpose. And they've been doing a nice job of that.
And I like the fact that they're thinking about the ball coming to them. They're ready for it. There is no hesitation. And like I said, yeah, that's a real good point. Boy, I would just like to see Champlin just get that goose egg off the board. That would be big for them right now.
Thomas Hall circling behind here for Champlin Park, and they would they would definitely like to see that happen too, to get just get a little momentum, a little hope going forward. But there's another turnover, and Osseo-Park Center will get it right back.
Boy, they're having a lot of trouble passing on the run accurately. There's a lot of overthrows going on in the game here.
Alec Johnson on the move here for OPC.
I tell you, that Champlin Park defensive group, they've been warm all night, despite having it chilly out here. They've had to play tonight.
Almquist giving it over to Fleming, across out front. Oh, and they had a guy wide open, but that one time a rare misfire for OPC.
I think Jack Hauser is coming to the net, and Noah let him a little bit outside there, away from the net, and just didn't quite sink. But, boy, Noah Fleming's got some eyes, doesn't he? He sees the whole field.
Pollard lost possession, gets it back, and finds Dressel. And they're not able to connect on that pass. Fleming quickly scoops up the ground ball here for Osseo-Park Center.
He'll go back to his house in the X position in the 1-3-2.
Fleming flipping it over. Here's another attempt and another goal put away by Alec Johnson.
And I think that's the hat trick for Alec Johnson now, too.
Yep.
Another senior. Watch the pass coming out here. And Alec Johnson was nicely open here, and the Champlin Park defense just should have kept coming. And the minute he made a quick sidestep, they hesitated with him. You keep coming right through him, and 2 of them got to get right on him up that spot. And as I said, Champlin's learning, their defense yet. They lost, what did they say? How many seniors they had coming back this year, Jay? 6? I think it was 6 total.
I think 6 who had played any varsity was.
Yeah.
So definitely a new group for them. And, obviously a rough night for them tonight, but it's a program that has had a lot of success, and they're, sometimes it's your turn or your year to have to rebuild a little bit, and that's maybe the case with them right now.
I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag on that one. Yeah, you're right. And sometimes you just, and again, even if you're a good team, you'll have a night where just absolutely nothing goes right. Totally. It's just, I don't know why we showed up. It was just terrible.
That pass will bounce all the way through and grabbed up there by Dumphy.
I'll be interested to see how many substitutions come. Boy, I'll tell you what, no one's getting open for the Rebels here. They need to just put some passes together here to clear it out, because OPC, they're just riding them hard. Now there's a break.
Russell not quite able to come up with that one. Joey Faulds for Champlin Park. Gets up the middle, fires, and he scores. And Champlin Park breaks the deadlock here as Falls able to send that one in.
Nice move by Joey Falls there. He got it, and he just took it himself and kind of rock and roll a little bit, switched hands, came through on his left. Now he'll switch back to his right, which is a natural shooting angle, and a good shot with good velocity on it on the move. And I just watch this look at the NJ. Watch him. He'll just look up at the sky and go, finally got one. So that's a big task. The goose egg is off the board. We'll see if they can build on that a little bit, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to come back 11 goals down, but at least, make it look a little bit more respectable and show that they got some fight back in them.
Yeah, you're thinking of, how this builds into the next games really too, and not, like you said, the lead big enough now that unlikely that you'll really come back all the way, but the only way to find out is to get started.
Here's a good start right here, too. Get possession back right away. That's what I love about the game of lacrosse. You can put a real string together.
Try to get it back here as they battle for it right out front. Sturm trying to shovel it at the net.
Why not? Good pickup there. There's one of the few ground ball situations Champlin won.
That shot sailing wide there from Disrud, but Rebels will keep possession here. Joey Falls with it behind the net. And fail to connect on a pass there again. And they will lose it. So that's kind of the night it's been right there for Champlin Park, unfortunately for them. They'll use the goalie Comstock here, gets it to Russell.
Boy, Russell's been really good at moving it out, hasn't he? Just on these clears. Done a great job for OPC.
Hauser had it, lost it. Knocked ahead. Good battle by Jonah
There you
Miller.
go.
And then they got a nice play that turns into a turnover. So Osseo-Park Center will get it back, but definitely, little signs of spark here, at least from Champlin Park.
I think the practice tomorrow will have a little bit of ball catching skill practice, skill drills.
Little stumble there, but keeping possession was Alec Johnson. Back across to Almquist.
And I like the defense coming out and getting aggressive on that. They need to do this right now. Who cares? Just go after some guys.
But the shot put away by Tharp for OPC. And he will bury another, his second of the quarter here.
I think it's just a straight line shot. Yeah, just perfect right on the right side pipe there. And I think the goalie was screened a little bit. Kind of saw it the last second. And the good thing for OPC right now, Jay, is obviously they don't substitute very much. They don't go very deep. They're going to get an opportunity to play some of the other kids that maybe had not had a chance to play yet and see what they got here and kind of build the program, build for the future, build for the sections with maybe some kids that they didn't think would play, maybe develop here.
Yeah, you got to kind of have that carrot out there of, if you work hard in practice, you'll get a little bit of game time too. And also, kind of give an early rest and reward to some of your guys that really worked hard to get this lead too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all about getting the team together. We talked really early about, before this game started, about, well, we see the records, but we're not quite sure which team is which here for either one of them. They haven't found their identity. We can't tell by who they played, and obviously we found some things out about for both teams.
Pass out front, and that one's going to bounce all the way through. And yeah, you tend to see the same teams be strong, but, there's obviously some switching. I mean, obviously this year, Champlin Park not as strong maybe as they had been, and OPC maybe, bumping back up a notch, and they've been solid, but even maybe a little stronger perhaps. And team like Elk River that hasn't really been much of a factor in boys lacrosse at all, but they've got a couple good wins already. And
well, they haven't lost a game yet. Anoka now starting to build. You know, they haven't been very good over the years here, but all of a sudden they've built a team. Blaine consistently strong. They do have a loss this year, but we'll see what happens here. And, you know, maybe we see a team like OPC all of a sudden take the place of a Champlin. Nice save by Constock there and in-close shot. And I like the way he comes out and he attacks the shooter, too.
Dylan Bennett got an opportunity there but denied, and now Russell sending it ahead. Under a minute and a half to play here in this third quarter. It's all Osseo-Park Center leading at 13-1. Alec Johnson surveying the field here for OPC. And maybe a little bit of an ill-advised shot try there by Carter Compton.
14 get in tight here, and Comstock faced him up real good, was starting to come out at him and got his leg in the way there. Nice play.
Fleming looking for room and tried to tuck it in. It'll be OPC possession here. Compton nearly got by, but then lost it as he collided with the defender there, Bloom. And there's a nice stop made there by Dumphy for the Rebels.
And good aggressive defense. The Rebels went out and chased those OPC shooters there, and we're not going to let them have open ground to get their shots off.
Couple of major league collisions there. And now we have a Rebel who is a little slow to get up right now as Thomas Hall. I think the first one was correctly seen as just two guys running for the ball and smashed into each other. Then from there, it got a little more deliberate.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see a foul thrown, though.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
there was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See right there, those two guys, that's incidental, and that's what they signaled. But after that one, there's a, and I think.
Well, and the other part of this, too, he reached out with a stick and extended his arms. You can't do that. You've got to keep your arms in tight on that. So, and then I think just after that, a Champlin defender got a little push going. I don't know if that's going to cause a flag, but. Okay.
So we've reached the end of 3 here. It is 13-1 Osseo-Park Center. The fourth quarter is up next.
And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Will, for example. His first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. He's learning production skills and now has access to cutting-edge equipment. He's working on local music productions, meeting new people, and gaining experience needed to produce his own show. Best of all, he's sharing his passion for music with others in his community. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
And we get set to begin quarter number 4 here at Park Center. Osseo-Park Center all over Champlin Park. 13-1 Rebels with possession here. Their man up to begin this fourth quarter. As they got Lingeson in that little battle toward the end of the quarter when things got physical.
And the freshman showing a little bit of spunk there and got caught.
Shot sailing wide off the stick of Disrud. Here's a shot that sails high as Zach Tennis tried to go up high on the short side. Rebels keep possession here.
Keep a guy behind in the X position back there to always be in position if a shot goes all right, and just keep winging it.
Tennis gets it back here for Champlin Park. And a big collision there as trying to ward him off. There was Jason Comstock.
Tennis has got a little bit of raw in him, and he's kind of shown it at the end of the first half here and here, just trying to run over a guy and get an opportunity.
Tennis being pursued here, but able to keep possession as Fleming couldn't quite get to him. Here's Sturm, who they've done a nice job of keeping him. We've hardly said his name all night.
He hasn't even gotten a glimpse at it.
Here's a chance, and Comstock, a nice save there on Dmitry Bierker.
Oh.
Sturm trying to trip up Alec Johnson there.
That hurts. I don't care what you say, Jay. That hurts. Stick on bare leg there in this weather. Champlin was almost offside there.
Almquist firing, and he scores. Almquist puts it away here for Osseo-Park Center. Make it 14-1.
Great power move coming across. He's going to take one in the chest right there. And kind of stung him a little bit as he got the shot off. You were talking to Coach Nelson, too. Part of the plan here for him is just he's got to keep these guys healthy. And that's a good place for Boone Almquist to be right now. There's no need for him to be out in the game anymore. Let your other guys play. You don't need him getting hurt.
5th goal of the night for Boone. We are in a running time situation now here, too, in this 4th quarter. Good push call there against OPC. Well, like we talked about, too, and, obviously a rough night for Champlin Park, but the kind of success that they've had, you're not going to find anybody in the conference feeling sorry for them in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, no. No, it's, you take your lickings and just lick your wounds and go back and learn something from it. That's the key here. And hopefully this gets your attention. This makes coaching a lot easier when we say you guys got to do this stuff. You got to learn how to do this stuff.
Here's Sturm trying to get a good attempt away, but Comstock able to come up with it again here. He's had a nice night. Obviously they haven't had that many great chances, but he's been there. Just the one getting by. He's made some good saves.
Well, I kind of noticed, too, Sturm, instead of going at the net, he was going backwards from the net on that shot. I mean, OPC's being very aggressive on him and really giving him no breathing room.
Fleming controlling it here for Osseo-Park Center. Flipping it out front. They couldn't quite get the catch, but they will indeed get the ball right back here as Tharp comes away with it. Tharp moving to the middle, shooting and missing the net. Will be OPC possession, though. Situation for them right now where they want to stay sharp, too. Not necessarily, you don't really need any more goals, but you just want to keep on playing, like it's a closer game than it is.
Well, this is a good opportunity to move the ball around. Work on your passing and catching skills, and also, again, you try to get some other kids involved here in your roster. Like you said, they've been practicing that need a little, playing time to keep them involved and keep their attention. And good opportunity right there.
High bouncer over the net.
Carter Compton getting the opportunity to do some one-on-one dodging here and create an opportunity for himself. He's had the ball a few times, but not a lot. It'd be nice to feed him now.
Fleming spins away. Fleming going low, and he scores.
It's like he just wears you out. He won't quit on you. He just keeps working and keeps turning and keeps twisting and keeps turning and keeps twisting. He'll go up, he'll go down. Just look at the twister. Just lost both defenders on that. Left him in the dirt. and there was nobody left to slide over to pick him up. And of course, you leave him alone in front of the net like that, he'll burn you. He's had a tremendous night to really show off his skills. He's done a great job for the OPC team. I keep wanting to say Pirates or Panthers or Orioles, and they're just, you got to say OPC.
Been a pretty long-term co-op, for the boys and the girls, and I think, no indication that will change, is there? I think it's kind of this way is how they're going to stick with the way it looks.
It's worked out very well, and you can tell just by the longevity. The kids are having fun, and they haven't won any state championships, but they've been competitive, and they're having a good time playing the game. And they have the co-op there to give these kids an opportunity is a great thing.
And of course, the boys based out of Park Center and the girls based out of Osseo, so they're getting full use of the stadiums on some of these nights too, where they can each be at home because they use the other one, and it splits up the duties too in terms of the school part of it too.
And less lines on the field.
Yep.
Don't have to have a boys and a girls lining on the football field.
Ooh. That one had to hurt. As going, Kuras was coming. He's not real tall anyway, and then Pollard kind of ran him over here a little bit. Ooh, they actually hit head to head. That one had to hurt.
And I don't think he meant to lead with his head. It just came out that way. But Mr. Kuras is okay. He got up. Kind of smiling. That's good to see. Boy, you worry so much about concussions and kids getting hurt like that nowadays. It's scary.
Pollard called for the illegal check. A turnaround try here, and that one's off the outside of the goal, so no goal.
Well, they're giving Carter Compton every opportunity to put a ball in the net. Moved him from side to side, getting him down low.
Like we had a timeout taken here.
Yeah. Yeah, before they lost the ball here, good timeout call so they can maintain possession of it. So when they come back out of this, Champlin will get the ball back and see what they can do to make it run. So you go back to the drawing board here in this situation, and just like, you almost come in tomorrow to practice and go, well, okay, that game happened, but from now on, that game did not happen. Okay, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to learn. Let's go to work. We still got a lot of season left to it. It's only one game. It only goes 0-1 on your record. So I think you got to approach it that way and see if they can learn something, et cetera, because they do have a tradition in that program. And, okay, we're down tonight, but our tradition is we step back up again. So, and OPC, this is a good one from them. This is, the group that they need to be competitive with, and they're showing they're really competitive with it. So, and gives them an opportunity to think about maybe taking on an Elk River and beating them, and coming through the sections here now that maybe they can make a run at it.
Osseo-Park Center next week will be playing at Centennial on Monday, and then they do host Elk River right here on Wednesday, the 4th of May. Champlin Park got a home game against Maple Grove on Monday, and then they're at Totino Grace on Wednesday. Henningsen on the move here for Champlin Park. Joey Falls. Little stop and go move here. Gets it to Sturm. Sturm looking to shoot, and they got a piece of it. It will be Rebels' possession, but again, not allowing him a clean look at the net.
Yeah, he's looking to get himself really open and so he can wind up and really rip it, but they're just stepping into his shooting space, and he's got to be kind of in a cockeyed situation when he lets the ball go.
Falls dropping the pass back and then across with it. They did not connect. Sturm knocks that one loose.
Yeah, we have.
Now the OPC able to come up with it. Tommy Lou controlling here. Drops that pass back, and they will regroup at the top. Some new players working their way into the lineup here for Osseo-Park Center. A knockdown there by Bloom.
Wow. I'm not so sure that wasn't a push from behind with possession, but the referee saw it different, so. Okay. Well, they brought it back. Just it was a false start here, so now they give me an opportunity to start it correctly.
Zach Salve on the move here for Champlin Park. Gives it over to Falls, who has the only goal of the night for the Rebels. Shot attempt here and knocked down in front by the defender, jumping in to help out Comstock.
You know, there's been a defender out there, Evan Langowski, number 17 for OPC, that we haven't had a chance to talk about. He's been the guy that's been on Sturm all night that just has allowed him absolutely nothing. Done a fantastic job on him.
McGuire Hodela controlling it here as we're under 40 seconds to play in the contest here. Osseo-Park Center started with a dominant first quarter and have never looked back. Led it 4-0 after one. Added 5 more in the second quarter. And they have just been in command of this one from the start.
Yeah, moving pick violation here. Now Champlin gets possession of the ball.
Back across for Falls, trying to get one last attempt on goal here, and broken up. And we'll reach zeros on the clock. And Osseo-Park Center, an impressive showing here as they thump Champlin Park by a score of 15-1. And after a number of years not being able to beat their neighbors here from Champlin Park, it's got to feel awful good for those guys.
I wonder if the waves are coming into all the alumni over the past 5-6 years. They're feeling this one. But boy, what a shooting exhibition by OPC here, and really set a tone to set themselves aside here and maybe make a run here. Champlin, boy, going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit here and try and regroup, because this was a bit of a butt whipping for them. But OPC, good start. We'll see what they can do with the rest of the season here.
So OPC improves to 3-2 on the year with the victory here tonight, and said they got a big one coming up next week against Elk River and Champlin Park, falling now to 3-2 with the loss, and they've got a tough one with Maple Grove heading up on Monday. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here from Park Center High School. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. On a rainy night here at Park Center, it's OPC 15 and Champlin Park 1.